And welcome to the EE Stakes Weekend Preview Show. I'm Scotty McKeever, and we're breaking down races all over the country. Actually, in fact, we're going to do Fairgrounds and Turfway Park today, but we're going to highlight the vulnerable favorites, key horses, potential value. And my partner this week is Oldy. Oldy, what up? Back from Vegas. We had a great time. We had so many people at our booth, on the Equinedge booth. It was so much fun. Unbelievable the amount of new customers that we got as well. And a lot of people are on fire right now. We had a lot of people at the NHC do really well at the tournament, and that was just a lot of fun. You and Justin did a great job, and Chris did a great job on the show over the weekend, and we saw a lot of Equinedge community there.
Yep. Including racing downwind, Dave Duncan,
yep.
who's right there.
Yeah. Where was Deb? Deb wasn't there. How come Deb wasn't there?
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that Dave hit a nice jackpot at the on the slots on Sunday night as well.
Yeah.
Justin in the house.
Justin, what's up, Justin? Deb Martin, how are you, Deb? We miss you. And Dave was there. What's up, Dan? Patrick, you're teaching. I know. Well, we need you to school us and teach us how to handicap, and like you did in the beginning. So we miss you. And anyways, I had a best time. I didn't do very good in the NHC, as you know. I did fare better on the Silver Sunday, and I was in the lead with 2 races to go, and I just I wanted that so bad. It's such. I will tell you this though, like. I will fight. Hopefully you're going to during the year as well. But I will always fight to get into this tournament because it is just such a fun event, doesn't it? It goes by too fast.
It did. It went by very fast. It was you met not only did we find out in person that we have fans of the shows, but you met some great people. It was great to meet people like Dave, Raphael, who was in the lead for most of the day in the last chance, first chance. And just all the time, I'm smarter as a handicapper for all the time I got to spend with David Harrison beforehand as well, too. Just, I can't really talk about how great the experience is and put it actually into words as well.
Yeah. So, in light of that too, what was really neat was to have so many people tell me and tell David how many of them qualified for not only the NHC, but how many of them fought and got motivated because of the Road to the NHC show that we do on Friday mornings. We're not going to do it tomorrow morning. We're going to take tomorrow morning, Friday off, but we'll be back next week, David and I, and I'm talking about 2022 NHC champ David Harrison. And it was just a lot of fun. We're all hanging out, going out to dinner. You guys, it's such a great experience. If you've never experienced it before, look, you can join the NTRA. Then you make sure you have a horseplayers.com or horsetourneys.com account, and that's free to set up. And it's really not expensive to get in some of these feeders. $18 to get in the feeder tomorrow. And then you can hopefully get into the qualifier from that, which is $75. But if you go into the feeder and you get in the top 20%, then it doesn't cost you anything. And if you and then you're just picking winners and a consolation horse or an alternate horse. So it is so much fun, you guys. I can't explain. You will have the best time. And we had a couple of people as well. We had Mike and Doc that were there, David Lupo, and they were so great too. We said, okay, they got into this really watching the Road to the NHC, Oldie, and you met them, and they couldn't have been any nicer gentlemen. And they hung out with us, and it was just so neat. And they sat at our table with us, table 11. And anyways, the reason I'm bringing this up is it's early now. You can start getting started to qualify for the 2026 NHC Championship, National Horse Players Championship. So if you want to, it's in my mind too, if you want to get into horse racing, it's so much cheaper to do it this way. You put in your fee, you put in your plays, and then you can watch all day long, and you're not stuck on your computer all day long and it's a much easier format to do and much cheaper.
And if you play the feeders, you can do it. You can qualify on a budget as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So thank you. Oh, Justin's at playing baseball, and
Coaching, coaching
yeah,
baseball.
he's coaching, and then there's Mike's lad. Mike's he's gonna make it next year. Like you can already tell the energy already to get to Vegas. And guys, I want to tell you, it's not as hard as you might think. Like I was always a cash player, and I still am. Not as good a cash player as I used to be, but hopefully I'll get that back. But I think partly is because I so enjoy playing the mythical tournaments, and I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's not as hard as you might think. It's really not, and that's why we have this the road to the NHC to help you. So if you want to get involved in that, join us on Friday mornings. That starts next week, and that's 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So should we jump into this? We're going to cover races, stakes races from Fairgrounds. Fairgrounds has a really nice card on Saturday, just or Oldie.
Yes,
Yeah,
uh, they do. Even though it looks, several of these races look a little chalky.
yeah.
Um, just to me on paper.
But I wasn't sure about this Secret Faith to start us off. This is the Crescent City Oaks.
Yeah.
Oldie, I thought, maybe this horse, it does have a good GSR within the field, so it's probably going to be okay. It is 2-5 on the EE morning line, but this horse has done good sprinting, but I think it's a sprinter, don't you? I mean, if you look at the GSR Plus grid, the only reason I hesitate is because it looks like a lot of these horses just want to sprint.
Yes. That exactly my what I spent forever trying to find eh, another angle against that. And I really think most of these horses want to sprint, and then you have the two who just wants to go fast as
Yeah,
well, and is in there with a bunch of sprinters on top of that. And that really put me back at Secret Faith as, they're all going to kind of be in the same boat.
yeah. The 2 horse Blue Fire, who's the top pace number, does have a nice win percentage. The EE morning line isn't great on the horse. It's 5-1, but it is the speed of the race. And it's already proven itself at 8 furlongs. And so I mean this horse likes to win. It's got 3 wins in 5 lifetime races. So um Jose Ortiz jumps aboard for Steve Asmussen as well.
Yeah,
So I thought, maybe this horse could take him a little bit longer, but probably the 3 horse Secret Face is going to be the horse to beat. Although on the SOR, anyways, this is a much stronger group than what this horse has been facing. Well, no, that's not entirely true. 4
yeah,
races back, this horse faced a 78 group. So yeah, probably going to be a tough one to beat, isn't she?
yeah. I mean, it torched that
Yeah,
78 group too. I mean, this horse just seems like it could be better than most of these state breds here, and that's the thing that we need to hammer down here is these are Louisiana state bred horses,
yeah,
um, and because there's a limited number of them, they typically face each other most of the time, and throughout the season. The other one, Scotty, that I thought had a look is the Scotty second pick, the 4 March's Intentions.
yeah.
But again, looks like it may, it has 2 wins at 8. GSR goes down a little bit. It may not want the extra distance. I think that horse gets bet lower because of the connections with IRAD,
Yeah.
lower than the 4-1 and 6-1 E morning line there as well.
This horse looks really good, actually. Look, I mean, it has 2 wins going 8 furlongs.
Yep.
And but it was 41% that day. Last time out, it didn't seem to have any excuses against a little bit tougher group. Yeah, initially I was trying to beat the 3, but I couldn't find a horse that really wanted to stretch out, like truly stretch out
Yeah.
that truly stretch out, that wanted to lead. What did Dave say? Need to work on building an EENHC table. Yeah, we do. Yeah. By the way, that tequila, yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Really good that Dave makes. I thought it was a whiskey.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was outstanding for
Yeah,
sure.
it was.
And it was interesting hearing about how they have a version of that in the hose at the Bellagio as well. So
Yeah. we're gonna get, we're gonna really push the road to the NHC and push the Equinedge. Want to have 2 or 3 tables going into this year. How many people would you guess were using Equinedge at the tournament this year?
There were 800 there. I mean, I would say, I mean, I'm guessing. I really don't have a number. I'd say at least 40%. Not the guy who sat down at our table, though, in the last chance, first chance with his piles of paper
Yeah.
that he ended up ripping up as the day went on and things weren't going his way.
I would say, yeah, I would say it's more like, I would say there was at least 200 people. I think that's a fair number.
Yeah.
You walk around and you see, you know how surreal it is to walk around and see the Equinedge screen up on people's computers throughout that big room.
People
Like,
told me they were watching the show on their phones during the
oh,
competition while they were
is
there
that
too.
right? That's
Yes,
so funny.
because
Annette, we
somebody
miss
said to
you.
me, "How are you guys doing? So the kind of numbers you're doing." I'm surprised because a lot of your audience is in the room.
Yeah, Annette, we miss you so much as well.
Yeah.
Like we miss Deb Martin. Like in fact, we've been talking a lot about doing a series for a month. Maybe even in May for Mother's Day. So maybe for the entire month, women in horse racing, talking about doing something. Oh, thank you for bringing that up, Dave. Yeah, we were going in. We were nervous as hell because of the prior issues that we had the previous year, and they were great. We had zero issues on the site. It was
Well,
flying. So a big shout out to the team.
yeah, Brad did
Brad
an
really
awesome.
led that. Ryan led that. And big shout out to all of them,
And your new
and the
DBA
entire
as
team for that
well.
matter. Amy and Riley and Anna. Anna did a great job. You saw, I mean, Anna never stops.
Hmm.
She works very hard, and we got Ramy doing the machine learning and the algorithms. We're working on an amazing GSR right now for you guys. Um, and Malcolm, he does all the front end stuff. It's really neat. The team that we've assembled and put together, like-minded people that care about what we're doing, and so yeah, it's really neat. Did I miss anybody besides all of
You're
us?
the new DBA.
The DBA, yeah, we hired a new DBA. That was one of the main reasons why the site ran so good, is some of the updates that we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, Emily, big shout out to Emily as well. Yeah, Emily did a nice job.
And let me comment on that too, because my favorite moment of the shows for the weekend was Friday when Emily had this look on her face like, what did I get myself into? And then she went with it and realized it's okay to have fun on a horse racing show and still be serious about horses, which is what we do. We
Yeah,
try to make it fun for everybody. And by the end, we had her harring at Kelsey Har, the Pirates' favorite jockey, uh, and things like that. And she was a lot of fun and very informative to have on the show.
yeah, she was great. Um, what else? Okay, so I know I saw that up there. I'm not ignoring you, Greg. I saw your message. So I'm gonna show it real quickly. Look, it's been a lot more work than you can imagine, but I'll show you. Um, so here's the new site, and it's gonna take at least another month of testing. But when I tell you guys, it's gonna be worth it. There's so much coming, but you're gonna be able to sort by distance or surface. You're gonna be able to switch over to the race simulator, the ticket generator, the new handy view from here. We have 90 new trainer stats that will be down here, right down here, jockey trainer combination. Obviously, when it applies, you can see here a race was on the synthetic, but it was taken off the turf. You can see that. Also, you can see these are the results. Every race has results, so you'll be able to see the race time, be able to see who won the race, who was in the race. You can see that the horse we're looking at, the Hippie Shake, came in last. And then also, for the first time, you're going to be able to see horses that faced each other. So if you look here, you'll click on view and it'll show you the name of the horse, how many lengths back, and what the horse went off at. So Hippie Hippie Shake and Beaches and Pearls faced each other on this on January 23rd.
You're burying the lead, though, Scotty. What else can you do with it that you've left out?
So what else? What did I forget? Tell me.
Race replays
Oh,
and
race replays. Oh, we want to. Okay, you're so greedy. Okay, fine. Okay. So you just click here. You can see if we have approval from the track, you'll be able to watch the race replay. That was today for this race. Oh, you want to watch live streaming? You'll be able to watch the live streaming as well from there. No problem. You're also going to be able to, it's not on here yet, but for all turf races, you'll be able to hover over and see where the rail was at. That's going to be neat. You're going to see the race analysis down here. Like we go over to Fairgrounds and we go over to race number 1. All you have to do is just scroll, and then you're going to be able to see if Justin put any notes on. Like I have a note on this horse. You can see it's lit up, but you'll be able to, it doesn't usually do that where it goes away from the screen like that. But there you go. So you won't miss any of Dan's workout notes, and you won't miss any of the analysis. You'll just be able to scroll and be able to see that. We've also added pace here. We've added the SOR for the horse, the average SOR. Oh, guess what's coming? I didn't tell you guys this yet. Oldy, you're going to be able to see right here what the it looks like the Jockey Club is working with us, which is fantastic. Big shout out to them. And looks like you're going to be able to see what it costs to breed to the sire, but not only that, all the sales information for each horse. So you're going to be able to see at least the last 2 things. If a horse was sold as a weanling, for how much, and if it's sold for a 2-year-old, how much. You're going to be able to see all that. What else am I missing? There's a lot more. There's much more that's coming that's not even here yet. So yeah.
Well, I think there's one other thing that people would want to know, Scotty.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to try to phrase this as carefully as possible. What is the extra cost of all this?
0. It's not going to cost anything more.
Okay, so I knew the answer to that before. I set Scotty up. I put the ball on the tee for him and gave him the bat there. But that's, I mean, that's in my mind, a lot of extra value and features just right into your subscription. So
yeah, and it's not free for us to have these videos. But what we really want to, we just want to, exactly, Dave. We just want to create more value for everybody. And that's what it is. And believe me, I'm missing 5 or 6 things. I wish I had them in front of me. But anyways, it's just taking it's going to take longer. But again, it's going to be great. It's a huge difference in functionality of this. It's really neat. And hopefully we'll get more and more tracks that haven't approved this yet. We'll get them approved. So
so write your congressman or whoever you have to do and tell them that he needs those tracks.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, we can't charge Canada any more money for sure, Oldy. That is for sure. Nope, I get it. If anything, we're trying to figure out how to lower numbers. We really are. It's it's not free to run all this, and developers are not cheap, and so but we're doing the best we can, because we want to be able to reach a lot of people, not just a few people. Yeah, there's more, but I'll leave it at that for now. Let's get back to handicapping these stakes races.
So do we want to? So I was 3-2-4.
Bill missed that. Let me real quickly. Yes, Bill, right here. So if a race is taken off the turf, you'll see it right here. You see that right there. That mark there, that's like a little green patch, and then there's a circle and a cross through it. That's telling you the race was taken off the turf.
Scotty, could we? This is just a thought, and tell Oldy to butt out if this is overstepping here. But could we make it so if a user mouses over that, the text "off turf" pops up?
Well, the thing is like I thought of that, but you want to be careful about having too many areas of hover where things are popping up on the screen. So I don't know that that's going to be a good user experience.
Sorry,
Because
I'm dropping that. I dropped that on Scotty out of
no, it
nowhere, so
doesn't.
I
I don't
I
mind you bringing
apologize
it up
for
at
that.
all. I understand why you would. As it is, we're going to be doing that for the turf and where the rail was out because we have
Yeah.
no choice. So I don't want to have too many things as you're putting your mouse over things. Too many things popping up on the
Okay.
screen. So no
Makes
problem,
sense.
Bill. My pleasure. All right. Okay, let's get back to it. So I think we're in agreement that the three horse, as much as we tried to beat it, it doesn't look like you're beating this three horse. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was 3-2-4. I thought this race was pretty chalky.
Patrick, honestly, just as a user now, I don't really know that that does anything. And most of the time, I agree with your ideas, but there's a lot of ideas. And what happens is, and it's only from my experience of doing it, I'm like, I would tell the developers, hey, I like this. Go do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And they would go do this. And then when I had it, it wasn't what I expected.
Mhm.
So I feel like I've gotten better at being able to visualize something that like an idea and go, yes, I feel strongly that that's going to be good because then you have the developers putting all that time, like something like that, believe it or not, would be probably 2 or 3 weeks just to develop. So is it really worth 2 or 3 weeks of developers' times to do something like that? That's the decisions that we have to make on the daily. So as a user, I'm not sure that it's worth putting that time into that. But okay, we're on the three, you guys. I like the four horse for second, Oldie. Because obviously people are like, okay, well, how are we going to play this? I just think a 3-4 exacta might pay $4 or $5 and run with it.
Yeah, I think that's very possible.
Yeah,
And I think there maybe if you can upset the favorite, which I think you can in the next leg, uh, double into the next leg to the second choice there might make a lot of sense too and pay pretty decently.
yeah. Oh yeah, another fair question, Susie. So one of the things that's coming is you're going to be able to. Can you see my screen? Oh, you can. You see the
Yeah.
horse search here. So you're going to be able to type a horse in. Like if you wanted to type in gun runner, for an example, you can type in gun runner, and everyone's going to have this ability to do that. And you can click on it, and then you'll get the past performances for gun runner. Is what's as an example. The other thing that you're going to have is the link feature here. So you're going to be able to. It stores up. It stores up a lot. Susie is the real answer. But you're going to have a hyperlink on each of the dates, and you're going to be able to click on it. So you'll be able to type a horse. You'll be able to go back to any past performance of any horse you want to go to, and you'll be able to see the past races. So that's coming. I'm going to guess probably in 3 or 4 months. I hope that answered your question. But and I'm not opposed to it, but that's something that I have to re-talk with the team again on that. But I think between the horse search and between the hyperlink feature on each of the horses' past dates, that would show you everything you want to see in past races. But it's even with all that, it's not necessarily a bad idea. It's just a lot of storage that we have to figure out. Good question. Okay, let's go to race number 6, Oldie.
Yep. The Costa Rising Stakes, I believe it is.
The Costa Rising Stakes and 5.5 furlongs. The 4-horse Go Sugar needs the lead from the inside. And although it's got a big pace number, there's some speed in here, Oldie.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're seeing the race shape the same way I saw the race shape here.
Yeah.
Like
Like
I think they could go really fast early.
the
Maybe the
7,
force.
the 7's fast as hell, and it needs
Yeah,
the lead. It's going. Now, the 4 just might be that much faster. The one thing I will say is the class. Well, no, look, against an 84 group here, that's a pretty amazing SOR for a non-graded
yeah,
stakes bred race, a state bred for that matter, Louisiana breds. But that horse was on the lead by 2 lengths. You're talking about a very fast horse. And it's amazing how these big long shots sometimes can affect a big favorite. But if the 7 horse was to scratch, then then the 4 horse wins the race. But this looks like a wide open race. It's interesting that the system is not putting the 4 horse as the favorite, but
Yeah,
in fact, the 9 horse Brian's Iron Mike, who seems to get a setup here, might be tough to beat.
that's who I liked here as well. And my thinking here is just not that Go Sugar's fast and the seven's fast, but the one Mosor Candy um, is fast as well. And the other thing I noticed that horse may want turf. Most of these other horses uh, don't want turf here, it
Yeah,
seems like.
yeah,
And, Go Sugar was going too fast on the front end several times on dirt with a higher GSR against similar groups. So why wouldn't I expect that horse is going to stop here as well?
yeah. Oldie, let's answer this question. We get this a lot, and so for me, the most important part of the race simulator is the first call. Okay, and when you run the first call, let's look at this. So, and you say, okay, at how many horses with high pace numbers do you guys decide when the pace will break down? It's not necessarily like that. A lot of it depends on the surface, the distance. A lot of it is based on the horse's style. So, like for
Mhm.
me, the 1 horse here, who's only 3% to win, 15-1 EE morning line, is just fast enough to maybe screw things up. If you look at the last 3 races, this horse has been on the lead. So this horse is fast, but the race simulator is saying this horse is going to be 2 lengths back, Oldie. I mean, so right there
Yeah.
alone is telling you that this race has got a hell of a lot of pace. And so now we're handicapping, right? It's subjective. That's the point of the site, is to interpret the metrics, and whoever interprets it properly wins. And then you have to bet. But what I'm seeing is, based on that, when this horse is a length and 3/4 behind at the first call, and in the last 3 races has been on the lead, then unless one of these horses gets away, like if the 4 gets away, then somebody's coming from behind, and it's likely to be like the 8, 9, or 3. You can see those horses closing, and I don't know. What do you think, Oldie?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that this race would break down just based on the amount of pace in it. I thought that the nine was the only one amongst the closers I trust here,
Yeah,
and has shown tactical speed, so may not be all that far back. Has won at 5.5 too, which to me is an upgrade there. I think the 8 or the 3 might have a shot too, but another horse I liked here was if it gets in, is the 16, the AE 16,
yeah.
who I
Happy
think has
birthday, Wes. Oh, it's Wes's birthday today. Sorry, Oldie. Happy
no
birthday,
problem.
Wes.
Happy birthday, Wes. But I think the 16 has a little bit of a look if he gets in.
So I like the 9, and I'm going to show you why. Like, I look at when horses have obstacles and how well they do. So this horse goes at Delta Downs and goes 8 furlongs in a sloppy track, goes gate to wire.
Hmm.
Oh, and then he comes back and goes 5.5 furlongs in his next race on the turf and wins that race. Like, I mean, and if you look at the average money earned, I mean, this horse has earned in 4 tries 5.5 on the turf, $120,000. So, like this, and also won 260,000 on dirt. It's a very, very nice, consistent horse. 5 furlongs against a tough group, was only 2% to win that day and outrun its odds from the 10 hole. Sometimes you just have to forgive races or throw them out.
Yeah.
And it looks like the last couple of, 3 races here, you could throw them out, 4 for that matter. This horse is in a realistic spot and seems like a player in here. And it looks like the race is going to most likely break down with all that speed. I think the 8 and the 9 come out of the same race, and then
Yep.
the 8 horse broke bad last time out and was 6 wide. So arguably the 8 horse might be better than the 9. So the 8 would be I would probably go with the 8 horse.
Well, is it better, or did it just, because if you look, this horse breaks slow every race. Well, if you look
Yeah,
at
no,
the
but that's fine. You're right. That's fair. But it also was 6 wide here.
right, but
So
it's 6 wide because it breaks slow and then has
well,
to go
it's not
six
it's
wide.
not 6 wide because it breaks slow necessarily. I understand why you'd say that. But if it gets a better trip, then possibly it will be okay. But and look, the horse has been in the money 17 to 28
Yeah.
races. I mean, he likes to win. Um,
I
I'm
mean,
just saying, like, for depending on how you want to bet it, I think the 8 horse is a fair player.
it would definitely be a horse I would use with the if the 16 doesn't get in, it would become my third choice there.
Yeah.
But with the 9 being my top choice, but with a better trip and a more difficult trip for the 9, maybe the 8 does get up. And
What
I
about a
feel like
horse
they
like
should be
this?
closer in price.
Let's see here. The pace metric is mainly the first call. What about the blue arrows? Yeah, so the blue arrows are showing horses that are the best closers in the race. Sometimes you won't see it, so there's really no true closer. So when you see the blue arrows, those are the true closers, and that's what I was just. Thank you, Susie. That's what I was just going to say about the 3 horse. Sorry for interrupting, Oldie. So if you
No
look at a
problem.
horse like this, the horse was 21 to 1, and the only thing, look, the only thing I will say is I don't love that the GSR is so low with the horse. Fair enough. You can see it's better on dirt, no doubt. But it did show speed and the ability to like the turf going longer, and now cuts back in distance. And this horse is a sprinter. And if you do see low GSRs winning, it's usually on these short sprint races, Oldie. That's where I see it.
Yeah. For me, the this horse just looks like it doesn't want turf. And you're right, and about that. And again, you take a look at the AE16 for a second that I keep talking about.
I,
If I'm going to take this horse will drop, I believe it's 55 is what the GSR goes to.
yeah.
Jose might be aboard, which if this horse gets in, which tells me they think this horse might have a big look on the turf.
Nah, they don't think this horse at all. This horse, like this, in my mind, that I don't even know why they just didn't put main track only. I just think that they want dirt for this horse. That's what I think. This is either a
We'll see.
rainy track. This horse is not getting in this race. I don't
We'll
believe
see.
it's getting in this race.
We'll see.
Yeah. Closers and metrics. The front one is supposed to be backing up late. So, but anyways, so who are you going with? I'm gonna take a chance. I think the 9's a player. I'm gonna just take a chance with the price. That's all. So I'm gonna take a chance on the 8 and hope that the horse doesn't go wide. And I do think that there's a lot of speed in here. And I think it's cheap speed. The 4 is not cheap speed. But I don't think this 4 is getting the lead.
So I'm 9, 4, 16 here
Okay.
in that order.
9, 4. Oops. I'm 8, 9. Oldie is 9, 4, 16. Okay. All right. Let's get to race number 7. And let's see here. Let's see what we got. We got. I love the 4 horse sipping on gin. Tell me you like this horse.
Hey, you're not going to be happy, Scotty, because I
Oh,
also like that horse.
wait, you like the horse? Oh, you're right. When we both like something, it never wins.
Right.
This horse is going to win, Oldie. This is going to break our streak. Look, this horse is lightly raced. Look, it ran good the first time out while breaking bad. When you look at the GSR Plus grid, the horse wants longer. That's what it wants.
Yeah.
Like the 5 is going to most likely be the favorite in this race, most likely. And the 5 is a sprinter. This 5 does not want. Look at they want to enter in this race because it's a state bred, non-gridded stakes race for a big purse. This horse, I don't think wants any part of 2 turns. I don't. I think the 5 is worth beating.
Yeah, I think the 5's beatable. I thought the 4 was my top pick there, but Scotty, let me give you another choice there. The second pick, Cajun Matoli from the 9 hole. The 9 hole's tough though, that far out at fairgrounds. but this horse did just miss against the 4 last time out,
Yeah,
and could possibly turn the tables. But I feel good about both those horses being able to get the distance,
I agree
and
with
I
you.
don't really feel great about a lot of these others.
Well, it's the reason you want to know the reason why I like the 4 so much is because of the 9. Because this nine's a very nice horse,
Yeah,
and the 4 beat the 9. And so I think this is a 2-horse race. I don't even think you need to go any deeper. And you might get a fair price for either one of these horses that you like because the 5 is going to get overbet. And they're adding
yeah,
blinkers, like Patrick said. And what that's going to do for this horse, I have no idea. I mean, show more speed in a race that's already got a bunch of speed. I mean, maybe they will need the lead. They will absolutely need the lead to win this.
yeah, and
And
they're not fast enough.
I mean, the horse is, and with the blinkers as well, and the race simulator has the horse winning. But again, you can add blinkers, but the horse is not going to finish as well, most likely, and the horse is already having trouble finishing. So in this situation, the best chances is 5 horse has an easy lead early, and then maybe that happens. I mean, um, it throws me off a little bit, but at the end of the day, in this long stretch, this horse is going to be breathing fire towards the end of the race. So Mike likes the 4 and 9. We like the 4 and the 9. Yeah, I'm 4-9. You?
I'm 4-9, and I give a little look to the 8 if the 8 could get the distance, but I don't think it will for the Cassies with Jose aboard there.
Let's
Just
see
based
here.
on GSR, it doesn't look like it will get the distance.
I mean, it's going to be very difficult unless this horse is an absolute beast. It's going to be very difficult to beat the likes of the 4 and the 9.
Yeah,
When you've only gone 5.5 furlongs and now you're having to stretch out. You look at the GSR Plus grid, and it's suggesting the horse can go long. Um, let me see here. So classic time. I'm looking at the new GSR right now on another
yeah,
screen, and it says that the horse is a sprinter. I mean, it's all sprint,
awesome.
whereas the new GSR is all sprint on the 8. So I think that makes me feel like the 8 is going to go pretty fast out of the gate with Jose, and Jose's aggressive too.
Yep.
So for me, in my horizontals, I'm only using the 4 and the 9. That's all I'm using.
Okay.
I think they're really good horses in this race. So, all right, let's go on. Good stuff though. I was on the 4 horse, man. I'm all about the 4s. Tufani. This horse is, you can see it's a wide open race, at least on the win percentages. I've already eliminated some horses for Michael Stidham and Ben Curtis. What are your thoughts?
I'm on the 9. Wait, hold on. Let me
Distorted
make
to
sure I've got
Oro.
right. Distorted to Oro, who's 12-1 on the morning line, but 6-1 on the morning line for Michael Stidham.
Why do you like this horse?
It beat 64's last time out. Has shown a little bit of tactical ability, even though it's fast. So it doesn't necessarily need the lead. Having won first time out at Delta Downs,
Hmm.
where it didn't get the lead. And I think this horse could just sit a trip. It's been in against better. Um, it won when it got the class relief. And, you're potentially could get some value, and you have Jose aboard again.
God, I so disagree with you on this one, and I'll tell you why. This horse, the only race that this horse was able to rate was against a 44 maiden group, and it barely won, and it barely rated. And there's a lot of speed in here, and that horse is not going to have the lead. And the 10's faster than that horse, and on the outside of the 9. I mean, this 9 is going to have to be really, really good to win from here. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to be rating against a group like this. And there's a lot of closers in here. Yeah, yeah. I'm on the 4. I don't see the 9, but that's just my opinion.
All right. Well, I'm the 9 there. That's definitely my top pick. And then I'm the 1, Fun with Flags. Those were
Yeah,
my top two picks. I mean, that horse has been in a grade one, going 9.5, is shortening up here for Chad Brown with Pratt aboard. It has some really nice turf works.
Well, and I put a note on here. Chad Brown thought this horse is a grade one horse. I
Yeah.
mean, coming in from Ireland. I mean, that's pretty amazing. A horse went off at 27-1 and didn't run, and now has been on a long vacation. And so it's this horse is a hard read, but it's the Equinedge second pick. It's 20%. Certainly deserves a look. What about the 12 horse, the Equinedge long shot? Yeah, I guess if they go really fast up front, this one throughout the last race, that horse did not get a good trip and was wide and broke last. This horse can do better than that. Prior to that, it beat a field similar to this fairly easily. Now, it was on the dirt, but this horse is a better turf horse. No, that's not fair. That's not true. The horse is good either way, turf or dirt, isn't it? Like, it's a very nice horse.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the biggest issue with this horse is the post on the 12 horse.
Yeah.
Because it was in the 11 post last time.
Yeah.
As the far outside horse as well. And this is not the widest turf course in the world.
No, it's not. You're absolutely right. Let me see here. Squeezed a bit here. Here ran good. This is a very nice horse. I think being the long shot is fair, because it can win or it could be third, but it can be in the money. Strikingly spun. This one, the race simulator has this horse only a length and a half back. Is strikingly spun. Got a look in here. It just seems like it never seems to finish, does it?
It looks very one pace to me.
Yeah. And with all these horses in the race, but you got Tyler Gaffleone aboard, but Flavian Pratt was aboard. The horse that I didn't like at all was the 3 horse, Way to Be Marie. I think this horse is a speed horse, needs the lead in a race where there's a lot of speed early. Yeah. I'm willing to try to beat this 3. I just don't see Way to Be Marie as a real contender in here.
Yeah, for me, it was a do not use. Not even a use defensively, a do not use.
Yeah. I agree, Mike. I think so too. I think the 12 is live. I really do. If we weren't talking about that horse having the 12 hole, we would be talking about this horse as a contender. So you just have to, just in case. And the other thing about the 4 horse, Oldy, is this horse had trouble in its last race, and that's the first race off a layoff, and that was against a much tougher group than what's lined up in here. And so Stidham is 18% second off the layoff.
So do you put any thought into the fact that Jose's aboard the 9 for Stidham and not the 4 here?
Well, Curtis rode this horse here, and he rides Curtis. Let's look at the jockey trainer combination. Let's see here. So he doesn't ride Ortiz very much. He is 2 for 6, but he doesn't ride Ortiz very much. I think Curtis, and you can see 149 races, 19%. You can see that Curtis is going to have first call. That's what I think. So the 4 on paper. I don't think it's close. I think the 4 is the horse to beat. Now, whether he wins or not, that's a different story. Look at this horse has 6 wins in 13 races, Oldy. I know I'm being super opinionated, aren't I? But I guess that's the way horse players are.
Yeah, that's the point.
But I really do like the 4 a lot, Tufani. Now, on the turf, especially when you have 12 horses, that's sometimes a problem. But you're looking at a horse that's got 6 wins in 13 races, $366,000. I wish I owned her. Right? I mean, it's a nice horse, and second off the layoff, and she looks as good as any horse in here. And then when you look at the 3 horse that looks like a contender, but when you see these lines, the horse, the race that the horse won was against a 60 group, and this was a nice effort here, no doubt about it. But every time the horse just doesn't finish. I got to beat a horse, and it looks like the horse needs a lead for its best.
And it may prefer wet turf too.
Yeah, you can see that yielding right here and how it ran, and it ran really good. That's a possibility. You're right. I mean, nice horse,
Yeah.
very nice horse, no question. Um, but yeah, I'm going to pass on the 3. I think the 4, and we might even get 3-1, 4-1 on Tufani on the 4 horse in this race because Fun with Flags is in here. On paper, it looks like a tough race. I think Tufani's going to go off. I'm going to guess it's going to go off as the favorite, but Way to Be Marie is going to get some money as well.
Yeah.
I don't know about Fun with Flags. Is this horse going to get bet in this race?
I mean, it is Chad Brown and it's Pratt. It should get that. If it's
Yeah.
9-2, I'll take that all day as well there. But I don't think there's a horse that you're going to see at 5-2 here. I think this is like a lukewarm favoritism.
Yeah.
7-2. By the way, scratch the 5 Sabalenka.
Okay, going to be scratched.
Because she won on Tuesday.
Okay. What I will say about this one horse is this. This horse back last year in April got second in a Group 3 race. Now there was only 5 other horses in the race, but that's a Group 3. So and I don't know how accurate this SOR is, right? For that matter, because we get some data, but we only get 10% data as compared to North American horses. So it's hard. It's a hard read. But the fact that it was a Group 3 and the horse got second means it fits in here. That's what that means. And the horse was probably training very good. But just because this horse did this here, it doesn't necessarily mean it belongs in a Grade 1 here. I mean, so this is a much easier group than what this horse faced last time out. So much easier group. So I think the 1 is very live. I think we're going to see an improved effort. You can't really tell anything from the works, but you don't need to see fast works on turf works anyways. So all right, you're on the 9, 1 for second. I'm on the 4. I didn't really have a second place horse, so I'll just it would probably be the 1 actually. I think the Equinedge picks have it 4-1. All right.
All right. Before you start here, let me give you what the scratches we're aware of right now are in this race.
Okay, great.
So scratch the 1, the 6.
Kinetic. Okay, scratched. Okay.
Scratch the 1, the 6, and the 8. The 1, I believe, is running at Oaklawn.
Okay, good. That's good information. So Sierra Leone is going to look at this 5 horse could be very tough on the lead.
Yep.
And this is a nice horse. Now, it obviously doesn't have the credentials of a $6 million horse like Sierra Leone, the $6 million man, a $6 million colt. And but obviously, this horse. First of all, I have a note in this race. Like this race, the Breeders' Cup Classic. I mean, it's set up for this horse.
Right. In fact, its only 2 wins last year were both insane pace setups where nobody else had any gas left in the tank.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's the Breeders' Cup Classic, and we can get caught up in that, but
it was still 13 lengths back at second point of call.
Yeah, let's see here. So the 1 is scratched. I don't know what races you guys are, Rob and Dan, you guys are talking about. You can bet the 1 all day. Which one? Are we talking about the prior race, race 8? And Rob, you talking about the 2 horse in this race? No, you're talking about the 2 in this race. I don't know. Classic Performer, no. So I don't.
He's talking about Hall of Fame, who does have a nice profile.
Oh, Hall of Fame here. Okay, you like Hall of Fame. Okay. Let's see here.
Very well bred.
Unbelievably well bred. Yeah. And by the way, I love We get everybody in the chat talking about some of the horses they like, because
Yeah,
it makes us re-look at them. Um, I think Patrick mentioned the 11 horse in the last race, and I forgot to look at it. We'll have to go back and look at that. You know, I don't see this horse as a winner. I see this horse. I think it did everything it could to get up last time out, and this is just a very tough group. I don't know. I have to re-look at this a little bit closer. Right, I think I'm on the 5. I'm not even going to give a pick in here. Most likely, I'm sure. I mean, these are obviously easier horses. I mean, look at the fields that Sierra Leone's been facing. This horse has earned more money and gets more disrespect than any horse I know. It's just, I don't know. I mean, we didn't respect or disrespect Zenyatta because of her style of coming from behind. She, you
but
know,
Zenyatta would win. And if you look, Leone, let's throw the Derby out. Sierra Leone's been the favorite in 5 of her last, or let's include the Derby, 5 of 7 races,
yeah.
and won 3 of them.
Let's
So,
see here.
it's not that the batters aren't disrespecting this horse. It's just, needs, it's a closer that needs a setup to get home, or may need a setup. I mean, the horse that was kind of a pain in its rear end is retired in Dornock, who beat it twice out of those races it didn't win.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So what are you doing in here?
So I'm going to put the 5 on top and take the chance that maybe this 5 is just a monster. That it is for a state bred. It's very well bred. Nobody's really been able to stay with it. It won last time by almost 13 lengths.
Are we really thinking that a Louisiana bred horse is going to beat Sierra Leone? I don't
I
know.
know
Like,
it
I
sounds
mean,
insane, but it did almost win this race last year.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
know what? I just, yeah, I gotta get. I'm gonna do Sierra Leone. I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think the pace is gonna matter. This horse is just. There's no way these horses are beating Sierra Leone. I mean, first
and
of all, the five horse was 85% to win last time out. Holy hell! Look at this. I have never seen this. 92% to
yeah,
win. Did you see that?
yes, I'm looking
Holy,
at it right now as well.
yeah.
73%, but it did win when it was 43% too. I mean, if you go through the this horse just wins.
It needs the lead.
And
That I'm sure of.
yes,
You can see,
yes,
and it needs the lead. Like, it didn't get the lead here in the Delta Mile and on a muddy track, and it just stopped. But I don't know. Maybe one of these other horses will go. Hall of Fame is more interesting to me than it was initially. I can agree. I think that this horse is pretty good. But Dan, you
and
were saying that the 10 horse is going to be 50-50 to scratch out of the
yep,
race.
yep.
Is that what he said? Yeah. Which should
I've heard that as well, but I can't count it as a scratch until you get an answer on that. But that helps the 5, I feel like, as well.
Let's see here. The 5 horse. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. This 5's going to have the lead, man. It doesn't, when it gets the lead, it doesn't stop. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, maybe it just gets brave here. We'll see. Um, Maybe Sierra Leone has a troubled trip, but I'm going 5-7-2 here in that order.
Dan said we need to give you a drug test, thinking that the 5 horse is going to beat Sierra Leone, Oldie. He might be right.
When Sierra Leone, who's a pace-dependent horse with a low percentage run style, loses this race because it didn't get the pace that it needed, and that's the truth. Closers win at a low percentage of the time, and true deep from the cloud closers win at even lower percentage of the time. And maybe Sierra Leone's just so much better than this group that it won't matter.
Yeah.
But in the other races, when it hasn't gotten the setup, it has mattered.
I mean, it's going to be way. This is this. It is scary. I'll say that. I mean, Sierra Leone is going to be well back,
Yeah. I mean,
and
everything's going, and that's the other thing. The reason why those horses don't win that often is everything has to go perfectly. If everything doesn't go perfectly, you end up just short, like in the Derby, where he should have been DQ'd to third anyways. But that's an argument for a different time.
if listen, if this Louisiana bred beats Sierra Leone, the Louisiana bred breeding program is going to be doing backflips
He
like they've
he
never
says
done before.
he says not allowed at fairgrounds, so that's the other thing to keep in mind here. So
Yeah,
the it's still the same place where they try to where the state tried to make it like the all enhancement games.
yeah. I worry for the 5 horse a little bit. I don't know that the race plays out well for the 5. I don't think the 5 can be that far back. So sometimes you have to look at these horses' styles, right? And when I look at the 2 style, and on paper, this horse looks great, but it also has been near the lead. Well, the 5 is going to be flying. And maybe the 2's this good and he just sits right off of there and it's not a problem, but he's going to be near a very fast pace. And this horse, because of its style, might be pushing. And now the horse is on the inside. I think the 5 is going to get the lead, and the 2 is going to go to the outside of the 5. So the 2 definitely could get a really good trip. I actually, the 2 starting to grow on me just a little bit. I don't know if Sierra Leone loses this race, they should retire. They should retire him. Like, yeah, forget it. I'm going to breed in Louisiana if this 5 horse beats the 7. All right, so you're going with the 5 horse. I can't believe it. I can't do it. I think I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go with the 2 horse Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 2-7, 2-7-5. I think a 5 is gonna settle for third. Who's your second horse in the race?
Sierra Leone, I think the horse will finish second, and Hall of Fame will finish third.
Okay. All right, let's go to
We're
race
on
number.
the same horses, just in different orders.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big difference, but yeah, the result of that's going to be a big deal. Race number 10. Let's run this race. Spirit of St. Louis, of course, won the Pegasus World Cup Championship on the turf, and I was all over that horse. I loved that horse.
Yeah, Justin loved that horse as well.
Yeah.
There just does not appear to be much in this race.
I don't think so, Dave. I think the 5's just too fast for them. I know the 2 doesn't need the lead. 5 needs the lead. The jockey on the 5 is sending. So
Yeah.
the 2 is going to be sitting off of the 5. And the 9 is going to have to sit off of the 5 as well.
The 9,
yeah.
The 9's wide too. So
Yeah.
in a not great post at fairgrounds, and that gives the horses to the inside. They have to travel less distance to the first corner than the 9 does, because the 9 has to come over, and that counts
Yeah.
as distance too. So being not as quick and having to be outside, I think it's going to be tough on the 9 to press the 2 or the 5.
Is this race just about the 6 and the 8? From the handicapping I did, that's what it looks like, but is there any surprises in here?
I didn't even think I really thought this race was about the 6. I didn't, I have the 8 listed second, but it really, I didn't think the 8 can win this race.
Yeah.
That this is such a drop in class.
Yeah.
On the 6, that if the 6 is, and it's second off the layoff too, same distance, easier group. I mean, that there just didn't seem to be a lot in this race to me.
No, this is a very consistent horse. Spirit of St. Louis just looks dominant in here. These are not that great. If you put that in perspective, that was an 80 group that Spirit of St. Louis beat last time out for Chad Brown. And Mike Maker's 3 horse, What Say Thee, the Equinedge long shot, it didn't even beat a 68 group. I mean, there's just a huge difference here. This horse did get up. It doesn't have any speed though, whereas at least Spirit of St. Louis is tactical. So
Yeah.
that's a big advantage on the 8. I think the 8's coming late. I really do, but I think the 6 is getting first run on these cheaper horses here. I'm looking. There is just, I mean, what a great purse here in the Muniz
Yeah.
Memorial for the connections of Spirit of St. Louis. I mean, on paper, it shouldn't even be close. In my mind, this is a horse that should be 60%.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll say also, this is a paceless race. So Spirit of St. Louis won't have as much ground to cover.
Yeah, good call. Good call on that, Oldy. Look at that. There's no speed in here. And if you look at that, that horse does better in those situations. Look at this.
Yep.
When it can be close to the pace, look at this. One length back, and winning these races easily. Oh yeah. Yeah. 6 single. Oh, you're welcome, Wes. I hope you guys are doing well. All right. So, is there anybody else we should look at? I think it's all about the 6.
Yeah.
I think it's a cold. I really do think the 8's getting second. The 8's going to finish. The 8's got class, 5 wins, 1 second, and 7 tries. Where was the race that did bad? Well, that was its first lifetime race, and it broke last. Fair enough. You know.
I think the other horse that has, there's 2 other horses that I think could finish in the money, and that's the 5 redistricting and the 1 Gigante.
Yeah. Chad Brown is clearly good with layoff horses. It's interesting that this horse has been training on the dirt. Do you find that interesting?
It may just be where he had the horse as well, because I don't see any dirt form here
No.
or any dirt breeding on the GSR. It's by Kingman, who's a Great Britain horse. Yeah, it may be maybe there's a reason for it, and we just don't understand why he does one service versus the other
Yeah.
for certain horses. But this horse again, if it runs like it did in the Knickerbocker 2 back and breaks that way, this might be the horse on the lead.
Let's see
here.
here. Let's see. First
Because
call.
it's so lightly raced that pace number, and it's had so many layoff lines that pace number is probably being affected by that last race.
I would be surprised if the 5 was on the lead. And Flavian's really not that aggressive of a jockey. And yeah.
Let me give you the other reason why the 5 might be on the lead.
Okay.
You've been the victim of this before with one of your horses. Chad loves to put rabbits in races.
Yeah.
Like this and ensure that Spirit of St. Louis gets what he needs here.
Yeah, in order to be a rabbit, though, you have to have some sort of speed. But I don't see it. Yeah, this 6 is too good. This 6 is too good. The race simulator had the 3 horse, the Equinedge Long Shot. I don't think this horse is a contender for the win, but it could go off at 20 or 30 to 1. It's 14% to win, so it's not a bad win percentage. So maybe I think the picks have it 6-8-3 cold.
All right, I'm gonna go 6-8-5. There.
Deb Martin's going to bed already. It's only 6:42 on the West Coast.
Well, listening to Scotty and I will put you to sleep sometimes.
Speak for yourself. Does have the highest Equibase early pace figure. See,
Yeah, I'm a keen watcher of Chad Brown antics.
Yeah. The 12 horse from that outside post is being sent. I'm convinced of it because otherwise they're screwed. Like that they have to send that horse. So they're going to send that horse. I don't see the 5 getting the lead in here. That's my personal opinion. And our first call pace number is more accurate than any pace number in all of horse racing times 10. So if I'm going to take something, I'm going to take our pace number well over any kind of speed figure. So personally, but I think the 12 is probably going to get the lead. But we've seen it before, but it just doesn't happen a lot. And I don't think this is a very nice horse redistricting. I don't think he needs to do that with this horse. This horse is a contender for the win. Now, what you will see sometimes, and I'll give you this, is that, and it could happen with any of these horses, is that there's so no speed in here that it wouldn't surprise me if any one of the jockeys decided to get aggressive and send their horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice field. So, all right. So we're on the 6 horse, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, the 11 horse or 11 race 11, excuse me. Let's run the race. Here we go.
And scratch the 6 horse from this race, by the way.
6 is scratched. All right, let's get rid of that. It was nice to have Deb Martin on for a while.
For sure.
We got to have her on. She won't come on. We've tried to get her on numerous times. She won't come on. Okay. So is it all about good cheer, Oldy?
I think it's really hard to get around good cheer unless the 3 horse were to steal this on the front end. I think that's the only race shape I can see here. But I looked at the dam on the 3 horse, and it's all sprint. Like I do not see this horse wanting 2 turns at all, even though the GSR goes up there.
I don't know how you beat this 7 horse. Look at the mare. Look at the dam. The dam was a nice one, and the dam was very honest. Could rate 8 wins in 13 races for $1.4 million, all in the dirt. It's just wow. What a well-bred horse this is. She's a good one. She looks honest as well. So she's going to find a way to win this race.
Yeah, and I think she's your likely favorite in the Oaks. The Oaks futures betting supports that too. That her and Baffert's horse Tenma are the top 2, appear to be the top 2 right now going into the last round of qualifiers for the Oaks.
Yeah. Is there anybody that we should be looking at that could surprise if the 7 wasn't to get a good trip?
It would be if the 3 could last on the front end.
Okay.
But it's gonna the 2 and 3 are both gonna go pretty fast, I think, on the front end.
Yeah.
The 2 was on the lead for McPeak in the Rachel Alexandra last time out. The horse that's a little bit curious here, or interesting, as Chris would say, is the 8 horse Secret Faith, but I don't think it wants any part of 2 turns. It's another state bred. It would be a Louisiana state bred party if both those horses
that horse is a sprinter. It's only 5% to win. It's going to get overbet.
Right, but I'm just saying, if
as part of the pace.
Yeah, if the world were to come to an end and let's say Pratt fell off, or Sias fell off good cheer, would that horse have a shot? Maybe, because I don't think the 1 girl math, maybe moving to the dirt, but really hasn't shown much there. That horse, that they've kind of been throwing it around places, and it really, it wasn't running well on the dirt against maidens either. I just, and the 9 I think is just too slow.
I'm going to give you a long shot here. The 1 horse. First of all, I do like the 9. I agree with you, Mike. I like the 9 horse as well. I think there's some sneaky speed in this race that's going to likely stop, and the 9 horse just seems to be finishing, at least on the race simulator. But this 1 horse girl math is, look at the GSR going up. I mean, I know it took a while. It took 4 races for this horse to break its 5 races. and then it faced winners last time out, and it was the favorite. I don't really think this horse loved. Obviously, the class of the last race was something, but I don't necessarily think that it loved the synthetic. Flavian stays aboard, and now all of a sudden, this horse is going to go off at 20, 30 to 1. And it's an interesting horse for the as a price for sure.
So that's the specific horse I was saying I don't like. The GSR goes up 100%, but the dirt offers aren't any good, and that they're all one paced.
Well, that's okay.
I don't
I
think
mean,
it
there's
is.
nothing wrong with. I mean, when you say they're no good, and the horse had 3 second-place finishes here,
Right, but one of them was by
wins
10
from the
lengths.
11 hole on a new surface, then faces a 68 group and was the favorite in that race, and now all of a sudden is projected to go off at 30 to 1. I'm just saying, like the 7 looks really, really tough, but none of these others look all that great. The 3 had to hang on to win against a maiden group last time out. Yeah, the connections are good, but all of a sudden this horse is supposed to compete in a grade 2 race.
I prefer the 3 to the 9. The 9's way too slow. Way too slow.
It is slow, and it's not a great breaker, but it's got class.
And I'll tell you, on the 1, keep in mind when you're talking about that horse, it went off as the favorite in its last dirt race at Churchill from the 3 post and lost by 9 lengths.
Which horse, I'm sorry, you're talking about?
Going back to the 1 horse.
Okay.
Against maidens, it was the favorite. It was 38%, and it lost by 9 lengths. Even though it finished second, it still lost by 9 lengths in that race.
Yeah.
So to me, that this probably just isn't a dirt horse. That's
Yeah.
That the breeding says, and that there are horses that are well bred that don't live up to their breeding, and this might be one of them.
Well, based on the new GSR, the 1 horse is only a dirt horse. I disagree with you. I think the horse is a dirt horse, and it's run good in each of those races. Sometimes these horses take a while to figure things out, and I think that's what we're dealing with here. I mean, I think this horse just took a little bit. I mean, the fact that it was the favorite in this race was pretty amazing, and it didn't run terrible against winners first time out. So, I first of all, I love the 7, so I'm not even suggesting that the 1 beats the 7, but I'm not going to be surprised if the 1 horse gets in the money. Yeah. So, all right.
All right.
So we're in agreement on the 7 horse. Who's your second horse?
The 3.
The 3. Okay, mine's going to be the 9 and then the 1. So I'm going to say 7, 9, 1.
And I'm going to say 7, 3, 8.
Yeah. Okay. And then was there any changes in this race? Let's see. The 1 horse off the synthetic. 3 horse gets Lasix off for the first time. Let's see here. It's a good question, Brandon. Yes, we're going to have a PDF print version here. Probably it might take toward the end of the year, but we're going to have one. Yes, that's. We want to finish the. We first want to finish this. The print version is going to look similar to this here that we're working on now. So, yeah.
Scotty, one other horse that I think maybe we're overlooking in that race.
Yeah.
Is the 5 horse.
Her laugh. Yeah, I think Dan broke that. Somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike did.
Yeah. So, look at the trouble line in that last race.
Yeah, threw head to start and still ran second. That's pretty amazing. Was way best in the race. Yeah, maybe. You're right.
And I think we both agree could get the distance and has shown that it can be on the lead or have trouble at the start there and still win too. So
yeah, it's got a nice GSR on the staging site on the new GSR that we're testing. It's got a very nice GSR. It's interesting that it's 25 to 1 on the EE morning line. Wow. But these, as scratches come in and stuff like that, these will get adjusted. But yeah, I could completely see this 5 horse. It's a step up though. But I mean, this is the dam didn't do much. But yeah, that's a nice horse. All right, let's go to race number 12. So you're on 7-3, I'm on 7-9-1.
Yep.
All right, let's run the race here. So we've got the Louisiana Derby here, $1 million. Let's run the race.
And I have a comment about the horse that wins the race sim
Yeah.
too. I'll wait for the end here, and then I will tell you, because this horse is coming out of Oak Lawn, and I had a significant note on it.
Which horse are you talking about?
The 3 horse wins the race sim.
Right.
I'm telling you right now to toss this horse.
To toss it. Okay.
Toss this horse. So this horse ran in the Rebel.
Okay.
You'll see there's scroll down
Okay.
on the 3.
Okay.
You'll see there's a negative. Keep going. There's a
Yeah.
negative note.
Negative
That
workout from
negative
Dan.
note.
Yeah.
No, that was actually from me.
Oh, that was from you? Okay.
Yes. So this horse was absolutely torched in that workout by, and was given the same time as its workmate as one of 14, but it was absolutely torched by a horse that's still a maiden.
Wow.
So had to take a ton of pressure and urging just to get to where it was
That's good information.
in that work.
Yeah.
This horse, you know, it didn't come out of that race and start running big works either.
This race, though, this race looks John Hancock being 3-5 on the EE morning line, in my mind, is just ridiculous. Like, come on.
There's nothing in this race, Scotty, that's why.
I can't believe this. Like, I want my horse to be in this race.
This is one of the weakest
Louisiana Derbies that's ever been
yes.
run.
Yes.
Wow.
And, so I think John Hancock wins this race just because, Yinzer I don't really think is all that fast and is going to stop by the second point of call.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 50-1 win this thing. Like, this is just bad, like really bad.
And I have a note on the 8 that in the previous race, not in the 1/20/25 race, that it had a work that looked good on paper, but wasn't actually as good in actuality of the video there too.
I'm really surprised. Are you surprised that the EE morning line? I mean, this horse barely won last time out, but the EE morning line is showing this horse at 3-5. That's pretty insane.
And Scotty, this is one of my favorite angles too. You have top pace, top SOR, second pick, top win there, and that's good. That's like a 50% of the time winner.
Let's see here. So this horse is top pace, top win, top SOR, lowest EE morning line, and the Equinedge second pick. These horses win 48% of the time.
Yep.
This horse is 25%, but these horses that match this criteria win 48% of the time, 81% in the money, and a negative 3% ROI after takeout. So,
and the EE morning, and it's the same profile as I was talking about on Owen Almighty in the Tampa Bay Derby. And I was like, well, I don't really like the horse, but the data's screaming at me, this horse. And it's the same thing here. Even if I don't love this horse, the data's screaming this horse. And you look and you add in that 3-5 on the E morning line too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just screaming something at us that's hard to ignore here.
Yeah, it is.
And you have a group that's just, the rest of them, maybe Built, but Built has run a clunker. There really just is not a lot of places to go besides John Hancock, and they scratched out of the Virginia Derby. They were entered there to run here for the bigger purse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say this. Maybe it was on a big race day. I don't know, but for Flavian to actually go to Tampa to ride this horse has to mean something. Um, Caldera, the 5 horse, who just brought up the 5 horse? I think. Let's see here, Caldera. What about this one? I mean, this was. I mean, the
Yeah.
Sunland Derby. That was a pretty darn good effort. This horse is really bred nicely, isn't he?
Yes, but I will tell you, even though the GSR says that the distance shouldn't be a problem, Lucas, there was a thing in DRF about Lucas saying that he's not sure that this horse will want the added furlong here.
Let's see here.
I mean, the GSR says it's fine, but I'm just
Yeah, well,
saying.
I'm looking at the new GSR right now as well, and
And I also expect this horse will get bet, Scotty,
yeah.
and you might get a better price on John Hancock because this horse is a my racehorse.
Yeah, this horse can get this horse 10.5 furlongs plus and 9.5 are the two top distances for the horse, and 10 furlongs. Yeah. This horse is going to have zero problems. Zero getting this distance. That is not going to be an issue. And clearly at a smaller track like Sunland, I mean, this horse, not getting the lead, having that 8 post, it looks like this horse looks for real, right? And Tyler jumps aboard. How often does Lucas use Tyler? Let's see here. 0 for 14. Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. But
That
Bejarano, why not keep Bejarano? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, Bejarano, I thought I saw him.
he's
He
not he's not
no, he's
here,
not
but
here. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
think
why
he
not
might
use
be
him?
at Turfway.
Oh, he might be.
I thought I saw him somewhere this week.
Jockey trainer combination of Flavian Pratt and Brad Cox, 32%.
Yeah,
Every single trainer that uses Flavian Pratt has a high win percentage. You notice that? The
for sure.
dude is just consistently the best jockey in the country, in North America. He's so good. All right, so I was hoping to find something else in here. Like I don't like the jockey trainer combination of Lucas and Tyler, but I don't know that I'd let that sway me. Let's see here. What about I heard some word on Hypnus, the 10 horse. I heard that this horse is a runner. I put a note on this horse in its first lifetime race, beat a good field, first time out, impressive breeding, and then goes in the Rebel and doesn't have the best trip. Waited and had traffic. From what I understand, this is a nice horse.
My response would be, you can have the 10 post at Fairgrounds all you want. I'll let you have that horse there. I want nothing to do with being that far wide out with a horse that has no speed from the 10 post
Yeah,
at Fairgrounds.
yeah. Like yeah, it's gonna have to be the best horse by far. I have a feeling this 10's gonna run though. Like I think it's going to run. This is a very nice horse. To do what this horse did in the Rebel with the trouble that it had, it showed a lot of talent. And this horse is just bred is pretty sick breeding on this horse. The dam won $530,000 in 7 races for Bob Baffert, and she won her first 5 races
Mm-hmm.
before obviously having some sort of physical issue. Um, and she did it going 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs, 8.5 furlongs, 8 furlongs, 6 furlongs. But yeah, I mean, impressive. All right, so you're taking the 1, I'm assuming, right?
I'm taking the 1. Yep, I am
Okay.
1. Let me give you what I have here. I'm 156.
Okay. 1, 5, 6. I'm going to take the 10. I'm going to take 10, 5, and 1. I'm just not buying all the 1 hype. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. No. I mean, it barely beat that group at Tampa. I don't know. I know Patrick
But
likes
keep
it.
in mind that the horse that it barely beat there went and won the Tampa Derby.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what Patrick was saying. Mike likes the 152. 152. So he's going for Chunk of Gold for third. This horse, yeah, the issue this horse now, the 10 does draw that outside post, but I don't know that the 2 horse is as good as the 10 Hypnus. But that post, there's a big difference in post. And the reason this horse is supposed to win this race right here, but at 43-1, it did outrun its odds, didn't it? In the Risen Star, but that wasn't a strong field. The Rebel was a much stronger field than what the 2 comes out of. So
yes, agreed.
And yeah, and then the 3 horse Oldie says like they couldn't beat 5,000 claimers. That's what Oldie said. That's what I heard, anyways.
It's probably a turf horse. Actually, is the truth of it.
The 3
Won 2 races at Kentucky Downs,
and
has been getting that ever since then.
It is a turf horse. You're absolutely right. 10 points higher on the tab on the new GSR. Yep. Okay. Let's get to Turfway Park. We are finished with our business here at Fairgrounds. What a fun day Saturday is going to be. Is there any kind of tournament that we should be looking forward to or playing at all?
I'm sure there is, and I have not looked, but I'm sure there's a Twin Spires Kentucky betting challenge qualifier that covers Turfway and Fairgrounds.
Okay.
Them having big days there.
So we're just going to cover races 10, 11, and 12, correct? Oh, Twin Spires has that. I saw that. The guys, Oldie and Chris, were showing me that the other day. That's like, I might have to open up a Twin Spires account with all those tournaments they play every day. I saw you're killing it, Mike.
We've jokingly said that it's just going to be an internal tournament between Brad, Matt Miller, Mike, and a couple other people, and that because they're killing that. They have so many entries and are killing that so much in the Kentucky Derby betting challenge.
I love to see it. Mike has 2 entries tomorrow. I'm going to be following along. Good luck, Mike, on that. Tomorrow tomorrow? It's tomorrow? No, that's Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Saturday. I think you mean Saturday. Okay, so we're going to cover races 10, 11, and 12. These are there's more stakes races there.
Hey, Scotty, real quick.
Sir. Yeah.
There are 2 tourneys tomorrow, qualifiers.
Oh, there's qualifiers tomorrow. Okay.
Fairgrounds and Turfway Park.
Okay.
So all on Twin Spires. All the guys will be in there. Matt Miller will be in there with all the rest of them, with Mike, with Brad, and all the rest of the crew and everybody else. So it's all on Twin Spires. There's 2 tourneys like every day. These are qualifiers into the Saturday, which is the main at Fairgrounds, $800 entry. That's what they're playing for.
Yeah. And Darren Zaccali does a really nice job. We had him on one time. We have to have him on again. I saw him in Vegas, and Twin Spires is really doing a nice job with these tournaments. It's really drawing and bringing a lot of people to their site and to their app.
100% they are.
Huh?
100% they are.
Yeah. No, they're doing a really good job.
Yep.
That's all you hear about. They're doing good. They had a presence over at the NHC as well. So let's cover this race number 10 here. This is the Kentucky Cup Classic Stakes for $300K for 4-year-olds and up, grade 3. And the first thing I notice, Oldie, is holy hell, the top win percentage is 14%.
Yes. And in these, what do we say in these situations, Scotty? Who wins in these situations?
It's always the favorites.
No, the long shot, the Scotty long.
Oh, the Equinage long shot. You're absolutely right. I thought it was a trick question, but no, you're right. The Equinage long shot it seems to win a lot in this situation. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yep. So, you have Maker with JJ here, believe it or not.
It's 5-2. Okay, the 2 is 5-2 on the EE morning line.
Yep. and
right?
has a
And the win percentage doesn't even matter. Who cares about the win percentage, right? Because
Uh,
yeah, doesn't
I
matter.
like this horse as well because it has a win against 70s, a slightly better group going 8.5 at Turfway.
Yeah, yeah,
So there's a lot of horses I'm not sure here will handle the synthetic or will handle the distance on the synthetic. I mean, the 2 and the 3 look like they will. I mean that there's proof of that, and
yeah,
as well the 6. So it's the picks for me. Those 3 horses that I think are the play. But I think the 2 sits the trip behind some of this speed here, and just may just have a little more class and form here coming back to the synthetic after facing too tough on the turf.
yeah. Last time out, the 6 horse faced the Gulfstream Park Mile, ran and didn't run good. Was 27%, but
Yep.
I mean that, and it won over at Fairgrounds. I don't know. I don't think this horse necessarily has to win here, and it's jumping back on synthetic, and it's done okay on synthetic, no doubt about it. But I don't know. Does the 6 horse is the horse to beat? It looks like on paper, though.
I just think there might be some other speed here that's going to make it tough for the 6 on the front end.
Yeah.
There is that one win at 8.5 rating, but I don't know that I have confidence that they won't try to go for the lead here.
What about a horse like this? Dettori shows up. This horse has been in the money in 9s, like very sneaky. This horse, and didn't run good last time out, and then it went 16 furlongs the time before that. But it has been on the synthetic twice and won $55,000. Is this horse a sleeper? It's 6-1 on the EE morning line.
I mean, I didn't like it for me, and again, I think we have to start looking at how Dettori's running in the U.S. versus his reputation previously.
Yeah. Well,
Because
you don't feel like he's been riding good.
I don't feel like he's winning the type of races and as often as you would expect. And I don't know if that's because he's not as serious about it after his quote unquote retirement,
Yeah.
or if he's just not getting the horses. I don't know what the answer to that is. But I just I think we overrate him a lot of times right now, and until he proves me otherwise,
Yeah.
you can find prices playing against him.
You know who I like? You know who I like? I like to play Dettori down the hill at Santa Anita. I love playing Dettori down the hill.
But I just think the 2 is going to sit the trip here, and this horse has shown it can be sit close, it can sit back, and it's shown it can do turf, it can do synthetic. I mean, look at that GSR on the synthetic. How often do you see an 84?
I'm going to cut you off real quick, Oldy. Check this out. How cool this is. Look at we have approval from Remington Park. So this is the 8th race at Remington Park. The 1 horse was the top equine edge pick, but look how cool this is. It just was really neat that we've got the live streaming of these races.
And thank you for Remington for that.
Yeah,
as well.
Exactly. Thank you, Remington, and others. Stronach Group, Keeneland, Jim Goodwin. Yeah, I mean, huge, but comes in looks like 183, right? The 1 gets the head bob there. But anyways, that's really, really, really neat. So the 1 was a top equine edge pick, and pretty neat. We have Ritama as well. Look at this, like pretty cool stuff that's going on right now with all the stuff we're working on. So, but anyway, I just thought I would share that with you guys. I thought that was pretty cool as we were.
Oldy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Frankie Dettori declared bankruptcy due to tax reasons.
Okay.
So, he's hungry to make money, and just remember that. That was released like 3 or 4 days ago.
I'm actually sorry to hear that.
Yes, and he is sorry to hear about it too. He had bad financial advice in the U.S., and guy's hungry. So
Wow.
Don't discount him trying to
Yeah.
make some funds with this stuff. So that's the reason why you should not fade Frankie.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm taking the 2. Oldie, you're right. I mean, first of all, in wide open races like this,
Yeah.
who's going to pick long shots in a race better than the Equinedge long shot algorithm? Nobody, right? And so, the horse is going to save ground from the inside. The horse has some tactical speed. 6 could be on the lead though. Do you worry the 6 horse going gate to wire? I mean, this horse.
I do, but there's other speed here. I just think
The
they're
race
going to go
simulator
too
says there is
fast.
no other speed.
Well, the 4 looks like it has speed.
But I mean, it's not as fast as the 6, and the 4 can rate. So I don't see the 4 dueling with the 6. 6 will be all out to get the lead.
I mean,
And,
I think it's those 2 horses.
And the 3?
I think the 3 may be too late, but I think the 3 has a chance. Hasn't beaten as good of horses as the other 2 horses, the 6 and the 2.
Late 6 is off the 3. Luan Machado gets on the 6 horse. That's interesting. I like that. But I kind of like Luan with horses coming from behind, don't you?
I think he's fine on the lead. I saw him win a bunch of times at Keeneland when he remembered where the finish line was on the lead.
Why is Juan Hernandez coming up here to ride for Mike Maker when he could have had anybody come up to ride? Does he really ever use?
I think he's here to ride Peter Erden's horse in the as I look at the Jeff Ruby, the Derby prep.
Yeah.
So
look at the Brad Cox Luan Machado. They're 35% jockey trainer combination.
And Machado's a 13% jockey.
And exactly. Machado's a 13% jockey. I mean, wow. I mean, that's I'm for sure on the 2 or the 6 horse. That's where I'm going with this. Yeah. All right. So you're in agreement, 2-6?
Yep.
Okay, 2-6. Let's get this. Okay, Oldy's saying.
Looks like Mike Salata agrees as well.
Oh, he likes the 2-6 as well. Yeah. Okay. Race number 11. Let's see what we got here. Let's run the race. These races, I mean, they're tough. When you get so many horses like this is where you're going to get value. Like you look at a horse like the 6. I mean, I haven't looked at it obviously, but it's 8-1 on the EE morning line, but it's only 1% to win. So I mean, you can find value if you like something. Here's another race. White Rocks is going to be most likely your favorite, Oldie, and it looks like the top pace, and there doesn't look to be a lot of speed in here. You going to be able to catch this horse?
I don't think so. This horse is proven over the surface, going 2 turns. He's won twice going away at a mile. And last time out bolted and still won. It was up by 7 lengths at second point of call.
Let's see here. I mean, there's no doubt what this horse is going to do. It was antsy at the gate and still ended up winning like this. But it's going to be breathing fire though, going that extra half of a furlong. No, there's no, you know what I mean? No question about that. But sometimes at these, here's what I will say. First of all, the win percentage is going up on this horse. The GSR is actually going up. And then sometimes you get these sprinters that are like stretching out to 8 furlongs, and you get some pretty. So this likely is just an extremely fast horse who actually might get a much easier pace. And I think this horse is gonna be tough to catch. The horse he's gonna have to hold off, or she's gonna have to hold off. It looks to me like it's gonna be the 2 horse, right?
I don't really like the 2 horse.
No.
No, I mean, did win a grade 3 at Woodbine, but came first off the layoff and really didn't show up. And that this may just be a horse that was better as a 2-year-old.
I mean, it obviously, well, it probably needed the race a little bit. Walsh is 17% with first off the layoff and 18% with second off the layoff. So, I mean, it's one of the ones. It looked like it was pretty far back, and it's not normally that far back. And that could be
It's
part of
pretty
this,
far
right?
back.
Huh?
No, it's been pretty far back. I mean,
Look, no, when
well,
it's been competitive in the races, 4 lengths back here, 3.5 lengths back here. When it hasn't run good, it's been further back, except for
right.
this race here. So I'm just saying, like, how far back? What's the projection of how far back this horse is going to be? Let's see here.
We have it at almost 3 lengths.
First call. So I mean, it might not be that far back.
And 4
Um,
lengths by second call.
let's see here. What about Golden Sunshine, the 8-horse Oldie? This was a very interesting horse to me. It's 20-1 on the odds makers morning line. It broke its maiden, but this is a well-bred horse. If you give this horse any look at all, I mean, it seemed to
I
respond to the
didn't.
blinkers. No.
I did not. No,
Okay.
I went elsewhere. And if you want my, so I went with the 3 in second, and then my long shot was the 4 Zealous Moon coming out of the synthetic at Gulfstream.
So who's your top pick in the race? The 11, right?
The 11, but I'm just
11,
saying what, yeah,
3, 4.
11, 3, 4. But watch out for this 4, 20-1 on the morning line, 8-1 on the morning line for Riley and his mott. This horse is working very well. Beat 64 his last time out at Gulfstream. So this is a group of 68s. It should be within its range.
Yeah.
It's by the factor, and the factor, Chris will tell you, horses by the factor do very well at Turfway.
Let's see here. Percent. On the new GSRs, the 8-horse has the top GSR by 8 points. The second horse is the 4, Zealous Moon. Resolve, then it's pretty even. Then it's pretty even. Zealous Moon is 8-1 on the EE morning line. So, yeah, I could see why you would like that horse. This horse has really done nothing wrong. And you don't like the 2-horse. I don't really have a strong opinion in here, Oldie. I'm going to take your word for it. I will say this: horses like this. I mean, first of all, the owners are Godolphin Stables, so and obviously this horse was well meant. The mare was a turf horse, and she did good. She won a grade 3 race. She was actually barely lost a grade 1 race. So, I mean, this horse has the potential. Some of these horses, Oldie, they just take a while to develop. The blinkers seem to help. And I've seen this before. I mean, this horse is trying and maybe just putting things together and maybe a little bit late. So the fact that she's also the Equinedge long shot, I'm not sure that I could leave her out.
All right.
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. But I swear, like, everybody knows Matt. Like, it's so great. You know what I mean? Like, every time I turn around, there was somebody coming up and wanted to talk to Matt, and Matt always gives them his time. And so for sure, I mean, I had family and friends and stuff over too, so it was tough for me anyways, Matt, but it was nice seeing you there. Thank you for that very much. I appreciate that. And so although you're on 11, 3, 4, I'm just going to say that a horse to watch is going to be the 8 for me, just to watch.
Okay.
8 is a watch. Is a watch. Okay. All right, one more.
Yep, and I'm going to pull the old long shot hat out of the bag for this race.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's run it first. Before you give it out, let's just run the race. And let me see if I can guess. I'm going to guess the 4 horse.
No,
Okay, who is it?
not a long enough shot there, Scotty.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's the Scotty long shot, the 8 horse.
The 8 Innovator. Okay. Why?
Throughout the last race where it didn't get the lead. Okay.
Okay.
Again, this is another horse coming out of Oaklawn, so I've seen a bunch of its works. It was working extremely well going out into the Rebel. That's the race where the Baffert ran like 22 and 2 for the opening quarter there. And I think it's going to get more of a reasonable pace here. It had just been missing earlier and just missed in Lecomte
Right.
as well. I think the advantage here on the synthetic, how it's working, and the fact that I've heard Lucas is very high on this horse as well, and you're going to get a price on it, is, that to me that this is too good of an opportunity to pass up here with no Bafferts or clear favorites in this race.
Okay. So Innovator, that's going to be your top pick?
That is my top pick.
Ooh, okay.
15 to 1.
And who else do you like?
So the 9 poster I think is a solid second choice here. Didn't
Seems
run in the
good.
Tampa Derby,
broke
but
bad last time out. Barely lost
yeah.
to the John Hancock.
And this is actually the horse's home base.
Yeah.
At Turfway, even though it doesn't seem bred for synthetic. I think if they go fast, it will sit the trap. If it doesn't, it's probably the second place finisher here. It did win the Remsen at Aqueduct on a day that Aqueduct was playing more towards closers there. But I think that horse has a look. And I think the 3 California Burrito, who's a true synthetic horse, is the other one.
I mean, I know everyone's on this horse. I'd be shocked if this horse won this race. I mean, come on. I mean, this horse is barely winning against a 60, non-graded, stakes field. This is a $780,000 race. This horse is not winning this race. It's not going to happen. Poster is the real deal. I mean, the horse won the Remsen over at Aqueduct. I mean, these are solid horses. I don't see it. I mean, it's got a really nice GSR, fair enough on the synthetic, but I don't see it. I like the 9 poster. I think the 9's going to find a way to win. It's just, this does not look like that strong of a group to me. This horse, Final Gambit, just broke its maiden. Baby Max, it was part of that non-graded stakes field. That horse and California Burrito were down the wire. I saw that race replay. I mean, Innovator. There's a lot of speed in here, which I think helps set it up for Poster, but I don't think Poster necessarily has to be that far back, Oldy. The 2 and the 8 are going to be, most likely dueling. I think it sets it up for the 9. The Maximum Promise, the 10 horse, is interesting as well. That comes out of that same race is actually but was jammed at the start and had trouble. This horse looks like a decent horse for Ken McPeak and our man Dettori. So I'm especially rooting for Dettori now that I heard what happened to him. So I hate to hear that, honestly. So one of the best jockeys of our generation. So and seems like a really nice guy too. So I'm going 9-10.
Okay.
Scotty 9-10 and Oldie 8. Who's your second horse?
8-9-3.
8-9-3. Okay. That's it. We covered a lot of stuff in 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun as usual.
Come on up, Chris.
Hey guys.
What are your thoughts at all?
We have our coaching class tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
We've got Dan Piazza teed up probably next week for the Road to the NHC.
That's the NHC champ who just won the National Horse Players Championship this past weekend. So we're going to have Dan on, and Dan is a friend of Matt's. Matt was there to work with Dan through, I think, through the finals, and
Yes.
you know,
he
and
was there
so
with them at the final table.
Yep.
I'm going to do a private session with Dan, just going through Equinedge and things like that, and you know, we'll get everybody together and bring him on and go through all that good stuff. So
yeah,
tomorrow night, Friday night, and then we'll be back with you with the stretch run on Saturday.
Stretch run Saturday, and then we'll be back for the road to the NHC next Friday. Of course, we'll have the Weekend Stakes preview show next Thursday night, like usual. And then also big shout out to Mike Saletta. Mike now is going to be doing the horse analysis for Santa Anita, and then after that Del Mar. So big shout out to Mike. Can't wait. And then also for those of you that are new or want, you don't have to even be an Equinedge customer, but you want to learn about Equinedge, you can go to equinedge.com and you can go to the coaching classes, and it's free. In fact, we have I think 4 a week. Alfredo does one in Spanish, but we've got 3. Justin does one. I do one. I do Thursdays classes. So today I did one, and then you do Friday nights. And Justin does Wednesdays, but they're free. You can join as many as you want, and it really helps to see and understand the metrics. No matter how long you've been a horse player, using metrics in comparison to statistics it's just different. It's better, but it does, still there's a learning curve involved. So we'd love to have you, and thanks to all of you for watching, and look forward to the Stretch Run show, guys, on Saturday.
So I was going to talk about this too from Patrick here. Just one quick note. Cornucopia and Barnes worked together the other day, and my understanding is Cornucopia was much the best.
Really?
And it sounds like that could end up being Irad's Derby mount if that horse is able to take that step up in class and actually get the distance.
Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have to look that up a little bit closer. Annette, you're welcome. Patrick, thanks for that information. Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you for the Stretch Run show on Saturday. Good night, everybody.